Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest edition or episode. Some people call it episodes, some call it editions of the Birds vs. Boys podcast. We are here 30 days out, maybe even a little less now, from the NFL draft in Aiden. Do you know where the draft is this year?
Green Bay.
Boom, Green Bay, Wisconsin. And look, if you're watching on YouTube, I have my kind of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Not really. It's really the Masters edition of the Dad Gang hat. Look at that, Aiden. I even have a T in the side of my
Ooh,
hat. Fancy.
pristine.
Aiden was in Florida. He came home. I went to Florida. Now I'm home. We are here. We are ready to talk draft prospects. We are ready to talk offseason. There are things happening everywhere in terms of the NFL, including the competition committee wanting to make the new kickoff permanent. Aiden, I didn't know it wasn't permanent. How are you?
That is news to me. I thought it was too. I saw that they wanted to update it so that you could get the ball at the 35. I think we're
Mhm.
starting to play with fire here with kickers who can hit 67-yard field goals, which means you'd have to get about 15 yards after the kickoff. So I know we want safety, but I think at the same time, maybe we want to look into that. We might be doing a little too much. So
Mhm.
that's interesting. I like your hat. I got my hat on. I got it while I was in Florida. It is
Ooh,
a
look at
Philly
you.
spring training hat. It is opening day in baseball. And again, every day or every time we do a show, I'll find a new reason to be thankful for the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. This week, it's the fact that they won the Super Bowl and it took me right to baseball season. I didn't
Mhm.
have to worry about anything else, winter, cold weather, nothing. I
Sixers.
literally, Eagles win Super Bowl. I go to Clearwater, watch the Phillies, bing, bang, boom. It's opening day.
And it could not have been a better time for you in terms of this Sixer season. I mean, I don't even do they even exist?
Who?
What's basketball?
Hey, I got Duke winning it all in March Madness because future Sixer Cooper Flag is balling out. They're fun to watch. I have mixed opinions. Let's get all our other sports takes out of the way.
Mhm.
I love Cinderella. I love March Madness. I went to a school that's not in a Power Four conference. I love watching A10 teams win that are 11 seeds. I will say this though, I'm a little caught up because there is a high level of basketball being played at the top. Like I want to see Florida play Duke. I want to see Kentucky play Tennessee for a third time. So I'm kind of caught in the middle. I want all these Cinderellas, March Madness. I want all the madness, but I also like high level basketball. So I'm kind of caught in the middle.
I will say, so I was in Florida for the last week, Tuesday to Tuesday. I was at my wife's grandmother's condo in Fort Lauderdale. Okay. Beautiful place. However, no one's been down there a while, and it is her grandmother's place. The TV's from 1997.
Nice.
The Wi Fi and cable are both shut off. So I have not watched 3 seconds of March Madness. And I was also there with two children. So vacations are much different when it's a family vacation with a 3-year-old and a 9-month-old. It is just hustling through the airport with every item that you own and
Oh,
then babysitting just in a slightly warmer climate.
I have two things. I have two things on this. I think you can relate to both. One, I airports. Ugh, I am an anxiety traveler. I
Mm-hmm.
like to be there at the gate 4 hours before the flight just to make sure the gate exists and they're not pulling a fast one on me.
Yep.
If it says boarding at 10 a.m., I want to make sure we are boarding at 10 a.m. and not 6 a.m. So I can't even imagine that process with kids. Also, booked another flight today for a bachelor party. It has come to the point now I am spending money on weddings and bachelor parties and
Yep.
travel
Welcome.
for these things at an alarming rate. And by the time I go to get married, I think my bachelor party will probably be at Dutch Wonderland because
Yes.
I'm out of money. I have got 3 cents left.
Welcome to the game. And Aiden, if I'm just going to give you 1 minute of major anxiety here. So,
Ugh.
um, coming to the airport to fly home from Fort Lauderdale yesterday. Okay. I had two major suitcases that
Kill me.
were checked, a carry on that goes overhead, two backpacks, my wife's Louis Vuitton big bag. I then had a giant bag with wheels that you put the car seat in, and then also jammed two tents that the kids slept in, a arrow bed that my baby, the 3-year-old, slept in, pool floats, and a bunch of other shit. That is a massive bag. And then I also had about a 5 foot thing that is a portable crib that zips up in a bag. So I had all of this plus a stroller with a 3 year old, and then a portable car seat hooked on the back of that then goes on the plane that she sits in, and then my wife carrying the 9-month-old on her chest in it. And we returned the car in Terminal 1. We had to walk to Terminal 3.
It's it's never going to be in the terminal that you are.
No.
It's like
And they're like, well,
it's
you
like
can take the bus. And I'm like, and I have to get all this shit on the bus and then get it off the bus. I got one of those carts. I brought ratchet straps with me, but I was pulling the car seat bag on its wheels and pushing one of those carts with stacked up, and it wrapped, and with one wrist. My wrist is broken.
I can't imagine that just doesn't seem efficient in the most variety of ways possible.
Every person I passed was like either laughing or like had that look like, I feel you, man. I
Been
was
there,
sweating,
brother.
swamp ass. It was, and then we got to the check-in desk, and like we're sweating. My 3 year old's like, I want a snack. I want a snack. And I'm like digging for stuff. And then the woman's like, is it just a car seat in this bag? And I looked at her, I'm like, no. She's like, well, I don't know what they do in Philadelphia. But you're only allowed to put a car seat in this bag, not take advantage and put other things in it. And I looked at her, I'm like, lady, check the bag.
Just throw it in there. It's going underneath an airplane. We're just
Shut up.
making sure this thing lands. We don't care what's in the bottom of the bag.
God.
Will,
But yeah. So, and I am also, I don't like to mess around in terms of like, get me to the gate. Like, I like to have some beers or, enjoy the time. But
oh
yeah,
yeah,
especially, are you anxiety? I am a major anxiety if I'm only have a carry on that I'm not going to be able to get it. I'm going to be one of the later people on the plane and not
yes.
get it above where I need to be.
Oh, that is my nightmare. Going on there and realizing there's no space left, and then you're just standing in the aisle like, I don't know what to do. Mom, help me.
Aiden, and then think about this. Okay, and this is the last one. So now I have a full row. My 3 year old's in the window seat with a strap-in car seat that I have to use the belt, and then my wife, and then me. We have 3 bags on the floor, and then above I have the carry-on and a stroller. And the stroller collapses and then opens up, and I think about getting all of that off in row 8 efficiently, so you're not holding up the entire plane.
Oh, yeah, that might be the one. Yeah, that might be the one case where you got to let people go around you. You got to wait till the end. Like, nah, go
So
around.
flying down there, we were like in the last row, and I was like, I don't care. We'll be the last people off. I don't care.
That
Just
makes
wait.
sense.
But this time I was like, no, we're getting off this plane.
You need one of those planes where you get off the back of the plane.
Well, the best part was I didn't feel so bad because sitting right in front of us was an old couple on the aisles. And the guy apparently had a dog, didn't know the whole time. And then his wife was yelling at him the whole time when they were like, he's like, Stanley, get the dog. Stanley, you dropped your toothpaste. And he's like, Debbie, shut up. You're holding people up, Stanley. She's like, Debbie, be quiet. And I'm like, I'm good.
Stanley's sick of it.
Stanley was like, Debbie, shut up. Awesome. So football.
So football, NFL draft 1 month away, and this will probably be the last episode that is not mock draft or player analysis related from here on out.
Yep.
So I would like to put the disclaimer. If any front office is planning on doing a group chat in which they discuss their war room details on draft night and wanted to include a journalist in those group texts, I would like to volunteer as the journalist that you put in the group chat with the rest of the people in the front office and then talk about your confidential information and strategy for draft night.
No
Hand
one
up,
would ever do
I would
that.
like to be a part of it.
No one would ever do that. How would anyone
Nobody
ever
would
do that?
ever make that mistake. But if you guys were going to make that mistake, make it with me.
Can you imagine all of a sudden you're just like, blip, 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 blip. And it was like, hey, Jerry, what do you think about this? And you're like, who is this? And he's like, I don't know, Steven. What do you think? And you're like, oh, my God.
They would be the most likely front office to make this mistake and add a journalist to their chat discussing their draft plans.
Like, you're like, how did Jerry, you're like, this can't be. And then it was like, Will McClay here. And you're like, what the?
Yeah.
What do you feel about, how do you think we should go up for Abdul Carter, Shoddy? And you're like, you're just quietly in the background.
And then Steven's in the back. He's like, guys, I don't know about this. I don't think we should go through with this at pick 12. I think we need to stay at pick 12. We can't be trading up to pick 2. And you're like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here.
And then
But again,
Jerry's like, "All right, so Howie Roseman just called me. Abdul Carter's still on. They are willing to give us 32 and nothing else to come up to 12. I think we should do it."
we should do it. We're going from pick 12 to pick 9 to pick Ashton Genty. If everyone's on board, we'll go ahead with it. Strike time is at 9 p.m. Central Time. Opset clear. Good work, team. We've got Ashton Genty. Fist bump, football, Cowboy star.
Oh God. There is definitely a lot of movement happening in the draft, a lot of talk. The Titans now, I don't know if you saw this, they saw Cam Ward do a throw day, basically throwing in underwear, and now they're like, well, we really like what we saw there. We might just have to take him at 1, trying to clamor up anything they can get because they're trying to bail out of that pick.
You think so? I think they're going to go with Cam Ward. I think they might as well try. You don't have
I
a
agree.
quarterback.
I just think they're trying to see what they can get.
See what
Obviously,
they
I
can
think
get.
any team would do that, right? If they had the first overall pick.
Yeah, I actually think I did a quick walk and mock today, and I did
Mm.
the first 10 picks of the draft. I think the most teams likely to be movers and shakers would be the Browns at 2, the Bears at 10. So Browns wise, to me, everyone knows if you've listened to the show once how I feel about Abdul Carter if he's there at 2. I think for the Browns though maybe the reason you don't do that is because you're trying to get and capture as many draft picks as possible to make up for the albatross of a contract that you have at quarterback. Like you're never going to be 1 or 2 players away because you're paying so much to one player, and that one player is either a negative on the field or just not playing at all. Like the net positive with him is if he doesn't play this year for you. So I think they might be a team that could try to just capture as many draft picks.
Well, they might move out of that spot, Aiden, because apparently I was just watching a video on Twitter X
I think I've seen
prior
this.
before we got on here, and there is a reporter from Cleveland. Have you seen this?
I have. I was
Who
going to
is
ask you about
saying
it.
that
So
they
glad you
are
brought it
in
up.
active negotiations to trade for Dak Prescott.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So let's just do the quick math on here. And listen, the end of my math capabilities end at like Sudoku puzzles, but we're gonna figure this out. So Dak Prescott, he's
Mhm.
guaranteed how much this year? What's his cap hit, Kevin?
60.
60. Okay. And then Deshaun Watson is over 40 plus, correct? I
Hmm.
think it's 45 this year. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then Miles Garrett, his cap hit is $40 million a year.
Hmm.
So those 3 players are going to get 60, 45, 40. 3
Yep.
players. So they have 50 players to go, and those are the cap hits for those 3 players.
Yep.
By the way, this isn't a trade like in the NBA, star for star.
No.
They're just flat out trading Dak Prescott. They aren't getting Deshaun Watson in return.
No.
Okay.
Well, knowing Jerry, they probably would, but
This is like some of those. This is probably a bad analogy now, but like Kanye would do things. You're like, this guy is a maniac. And then like I'm talking music alone. You're like, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense in music. And then you'd be like, oh, actually that would work. This guy will be that journalist who reported on this will be viewed like that if
yes.
he like
Yes.
that genius actually or that madman was actually a genius.
It's like Michael Scott when he opened up Michael Scott Paper Company.
It was or when he does the scheme where he puts the golden tickets in the pallets of paper, but he accidentally puts them all in the one company's pallet, so they get every golden ticket. And it's literally like it was like the Highmark Blue Shield of Philadelphia, so it was
Yes.
like the health insurance for the entire state.
Guys, let's just say right here, Dak Prescott will be on the Dallas Cowboys week 1.
I think he will. I mean, I don't see any way in which he could get to the Browns.
Did you see that video of the Pope? I feel bad. And they like wheeled him out there and he was like
Yeah, I felt
waving
that
to like
too.
show that he's okay and he just looked horrible. I was
Yeah,
about to tweet like this is the Cowboys just putting Dak Prescott out there saying like he's healthy and ready to go. He's going to be healthy all season. Here he
he's
is.
healthy. He's ready to go. That's what they're going to be doing with Jerry Jones soon. Like the Cowboys are going to make no moves in free agency, and they're like, "Is Jerry Jones even alive?" And then they're going to have to wheel him out there to prove that he's alive. Like,
Hey, they made a lot of moves this year in free agency and trade. Doesn't that Kyrie Elam, baby.
yeah, there you go. Former
And
first round pick.
that's all form that's they should get like they had those like finish the fight and what carpe diem, or no, what was it? Carpe omnia. That was their thing. That sees everything. They should just get like a cowboy shirt and just on the back it just says former first round picks.
Former first
Just
round pick.
full of former first round picks. Did you
Hey, it
see?
could work. Who knows?
Uh, Speaking of former first round picks and possible about to be first round picks, did you see what Des Bryant tweeted last night?
No.
He goes, "I'm really feeling that Shador Sanders is going to be a Dallas Cowboy come draft night."
I could see the Cowboys wanting to pull that trigger, and the mock I did today, I had them going to the New York Jets. I think that a team will do it in the top 10. I don't know if he's a top 10 talent. I really don't know, but he's a quarterback, right?
Yep, that's
And
the
I
thing.
think quarterbacks, people are like willing to take the chance. I will say, because anytime somebody wins a Super Bowl, you try to replicate that Super Bowl. And the talking point with the Eagles is always like, well, they just mauled people to death by
Yep.
being bigger. They have a great offensive line. They have a great defensive line. I'm wondering this year is if we see like a zag instead of a zig.
Mm.
Usually quarterbacks go high. I wonder if there's like a rush on tackles, you know?
Yeah, I mean, tackles deep. I could see it. I mean, Graham from LSU, I think he's going to go high. Um, Simmons from Ohio State, I think he had that patella tendon issue with his knee, but doctors are coming out and clearing him, saying that's going to be good. I mean, he has the talent to be a top 10 pick. There is talent to be had, and deep in this draft too at offensive line.
Yeah, I think it that and edge rusher are two that you see. It is a
D
deep
tackle.
defensive tackle as well.
Yep.
So I think you'll see a run on those early. I think Will Campbell fits
Yep.
for the Patriots. Um, Mason Graham will be off the like they'll go quick, and then if those guys are gone, does that just like spark people like trying to move up quickly to get the next guy? Like does
Yep.
somebody trade up ahead of the Panthers to get Armand Membu or something like
Yep.
that? Like I
Yep.
feel like teams will try to be aggressive to land certain positions this year, which will be fun for us, especially for me. I got to wait till 32, so it's gonna be a while. So let's have some fireworks.
Well, and what I'm hearing too, and you mentioning you being at 32, is they're saying to go up this year is not going to be cost as much as it usually does.
No,
So it may be advantageous even for a team like the Cowboys. Like if the cost to get to 4 isn't like, go do it. Go
why
get a
not?
sure thing. Get Abdul Carter. If Travis Hunter's still sitting there because people traded up to get quarterback, go do it. Get a sure thing and take the questioning and the guesswork out of this.
I totally agree. Like, there's two people in the draft where you're like, okay, surefire.
Yes.
Everyone agrees like these guys are start right away, play right away, probably going to be Pro Bowlers, all pros pretty soon, and it's Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter.
Yep.
So, like, aside from that, you're right. I don't think there'll be. Usually, it's like there's three quarterbacks at the top. Everyone's trying to make their way up so that they can get their franchise quarterback. It's not that this year. And you got those two guys. And if you don't get those two guys, you could move up and it won't cost a lot. But
Yep.
yeah, maybe there is a team that calls the Browns and be like, hey, listen, you need picks. I got you. I'm trying to make sure that he doesn't fall to the Patriots at 4.
Yep.
Could be the Cowboys.
And the scary thing to me a little bit is I'm starting to see a lot of tea leaves, a lot of different people. Mel Kiper did it 2 straight times, and Kiper has nailed the Cowboys draft pick. So I mean, he was the only one that had Tyler Smith and months before.
It feels like, sorry to interrupt you. It feels
Nope.
like certain journalists have certain teams that they know, right? Like I feel like
Mhm.
Daniel Jeremiah always nails the Eagles. And then he
Yep.
told a story last year that Howie was texting him on draft night and was telling him to stop talking about Jalix Hunt. So it's like, oh, I see where you're getting your information from.
Yes. Yes. Maybe you're leaked in a group chat that you shouldn't be in.
Yeah, Daniel Jeremiah is in the group chat. Yeah. He used to work
Um,
in the front office, so they're just using an old group
yep.
chat of Eagles front office, and he never left the chat.
Oops.
Oops.
Oops. Chip Kelly's still in there. Um, Uh, but that happened like this morning. I text like I still like when I get on a plane or something, like I text my mom, my dad, and my brother, like through security on the plane taking off. You know what I mean? And then
Mhm.
landed yesterday. And that's it. I text my mom this morning because she was coming over to watch my kids. And my wife's like, ask her if she's stopping for coffee. So I text her. I said, are you stopping at Starbucks or Dunkin' this morning? I don't even know how this happened. She replied back in the group with my brother and my dad from yesterday. I literally text you alone. How did you reply in the other group that hasn't even had a text in over 24 hours?
My parents do this too sometimes, and I'm like, how did you make the jump? Like, I don't even know how your phone got there.
Me either. Okay, I'm not the only one. But speaking of getting from point A to point B, I'm lining up all these different experts, and everyone's putting Omarion Hampton, the running back from North Carolina, the Cowboys at 12. And
Like them.
I do like him. I just don't know if I like him at 12. This running back class is deep, right? If he's sitting there at 12, I'd rather move back, right? Pick up a third, get your fourth back, and move back to like 20. And I'd be good with getting like Emeka Ibuka from Ohio State at
Ooh,
20, and then trying to get your running back in the second or third round, like Harvey from USF. Either of the running backs from Ohio State. Like there's so many good. The
Travion
kid from
Henderson.
Tennessee. Like there's so, and I'm okay with double dipping at running back later on, rather than jumping at a guy like Hampton if and I don't think Gentry's going to be there at 12. Jumping at Hampton at 12. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's a Hampton specific thing. It's like if you believe that he is like a surefire
Yep.
starting caliber running back, you go for it. I
Yep.
think it's just like every team's dependence on get him at 12 if you think he is the like
Yes.
Bijan Robinson, right? Like if
Yep.
everyone's treating Ashton Genty like he's the next I don't want to use Saquon because it's too easy, but I'll say Saquon. And
Yep.
then it's like, okay, well, or here's a good one. Jameer Gibbs went 12 and everyone was freaking
Yes.
out. But it turns out Jameer Gibbs is a difference maker in an offense that you would be worthy of taking him at 12. If you
Yes.
believe that Amarian Hampton is that player, go ahead and take him.
Take
But you're
him.
right.
Yes.
If you don't believe that, don't take him for the sake of taking a running back. Go
Yes.
ahead and trade back and get another player if you believe in him. Like if
Yep.
you think the difference between him and Emeka Ibuka talent wise is a slimmer, then don't take him for the sake of you need running back.
Because you need a lot of things.
Yeah. Dude, I did that mock and it is hilarious. When you go through the top 10, you know how the mock draft simulator we use, it
Yep.
shows you team needs?
Yes.
It's everything for every team. Like
Yep.
you can't like I was like I keep repeating myself, but of all the teams it says they need everything.
Especially the Cowboys. They
Yeah.
literally need cornerback, linebacker, offensive line, running back, receiver. I could keep going.
I
Defensive
did the Saints,
tackle,
and I was like, "Dear
edge.
Lord, do they have a ticket usher on the team at this point? Do they even have someone capable, talented enough to sell popcorn?"
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they need to go down to spring training and find some people that you were at there in Clearwater.
Yeah, the beer guy, he is top notch.
I can't believe we're here in baseball season.
I know.
Out of the draft, I want to talk a little bit. New York Giants.
The best.
Oh, the New York Giants.
They are the best. They are
They're
the best. I love them so much.
How do you like? They just signed Jameis Winston last week. I
Okay. I said, I gave it a year, and I said I was going to be done making fun of them. And then they gave $14.5 million to Jameis Winston,
Mhm.
who's been a backup quarterback for the better half of 2 years, and Russell Wilson, who is in like what year 13 in the league?
Very limited.
Limited. Daniel Jones made 14 million this year, and they gave Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston 14.5 million. How's that better?
It's not.
That's worse. That's worse.
Just draft a quarterback.
At that point, just draft a quarter. But they always give us this spiel about how like they can't sign some star player because they have to save their money and they don't want to sign just one guy, so they can sign 3 guys. It's like you signed 2 guys who stink.
And you like they're doing the worst possible thing because there's nothing worse than winning 7 or 8 games. Like there's no point. And like that's what they're getting at.
You know what's crazy? Their win total before yesterday was 3.5. They signed Russell Wilson. Their win total is 3.5.
There, oh my, I want to know what he's gonna say on the podium. Like, it's like he's not gonna let's ride. What did he do? Did he do one of those things in Pittsburgh? I don't even know. He
Did he?
was. I don't know.
When did he come up with the Mr. Olympic?
Broncos country. Let's
Broncos
ride.
country, let's ride. I don't know if he had one for the Steelers because he wasn't the surefire starter.
Starter, and then he was
Yeah.
hurt. He didn't start,
Yep.
and they should have just stayed with Fields anyway. I mean, he did get hot for a little bit, but I remember when he was like coming off the podium and like after like a loss and they scored 6 points, and he's like was leaving. He's like, oh, he came back. He's like, Broncos country, let's ride.
Yep, yeah. Or he'll come out and be like, "God bless." Like,
I'm so mad the Eagles didn't go after land him when everyone thought they did, and then they got
oh,
Jalen Hurts instead.
we got the second coming of him in Jalen Hurts. I posted on our TikTok last night. I posted the end of the Eagles Steelers game where the Eagles just held the ball for 10 and a half minutes and ran it for 21 plays. It might be my favorite football drive of all time. They don't even score at the end.
Well, the best part was it was your birthday.
That was, yeah. I watched it at Xfinity Live with everybody. It was awesome.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's they are I just when I saw that, I was just like, wait, what?
It's the best.
I and didn't they give Slayton like more more money than they were willing to give Saquon?
Same amount. That's
Yeah.
actually worse.
Yeah. I,
They also signed a safety, but let Xavier McKinney walk and on
yes.
similar deals.
Yes.
Like they signed him for 3 years, 45 million, and McKinney went for 4 years, 64 million, which is
And
16 a year. Like
and
it's
then
just
McKinney led
nothing they do makes any sense.
didn't he like lead the league in interceptions after that too?
He did. He
Yeah.
did.
It's good.
He
It's good.
did. Yeah. So
Hey,
that's great. We'll see what they do on draft night. I'm really excited. It's here. I know baseball's here, but
yep.
draft season's here.
This is the time. It's obviously free agency now is slowing down a bit, and this is the time that we love because you and I both love college football too.
Mhm.
This is a fun draft, right? This running back class, like we said, is so deep. I think there are positions that both of our teams need that are deep in this draft too. Well, like we said, the Cowboys need everything. So
And it's funny you say that because it is a fun draft. There's some flashy names. There's a lot of it's not very predictable this time around, which I really like. And we're still a month out, so it may become predictable. All that being said, I think the Eagles are going to have the most boring draft night. Like I think they're going offensive lineman round one. Like I don't know if you won't see a skill position player from the Eagles probably until they draft Jaden Blue, the running back from Texas, who they had a 30 visit with. Like
I
in the fourth
love
round. Like you're not
Jaden
going to
Blue.
see anything crazy.
I love Jaden Blue. People are like,
Me
whoa,
too.
he's got a fumbling problem. It's like, listen, he fumbled a couple times at the beginning of the year, and they kind of sat him down and was like, you need to fix this fumbling problem. But then once they got in games where they like actually needed, who came back on the field? Jaden Blue,
Jaden.
and
Yeah.
was
And
that dude's
he's been there a
electric.
few years too. Yeah. I like him.
That whole Texas is going to have some studs, man. Golden, Blue, those defensive tackles, like they got a lot of dudes coming in this draft.
I
Years.
yeah. The tackle too will go
Yep.
first round. I think a interesting bet, like if you could place it, is first wide receiver off the board and going with Golden because I think for months it's been Tit McMillan from
Arizona.
Arizona. I think someone's going to be very impressed with the speed of the Texas kid and take him instead. And like all it takes is one team, so I think that there's value in saying he's the first wide receiver off the board.
Tet McMillan. I am in on Tet at 12. That's my.
There you
I
go.
want Tet McMillan.
That's a good play though. If they're the Cowboys, like that was a kid. Everyone's like, "Well, you go top 5 if you get him at 12." You did all right.
Or do you want to pair CeeDee Lamb with that speed of Golden?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh
That
yeah.
would be electric too. So that's where I'm hoping. Or like I said, mentioned Abuka. If I could get him, I don't think I'd take Abuka at 12, but if in a trade back scenario, maybe around 20, I would. But wide receiver is kind of my pigeonhole of what I'm looking for. Cornerback is obviously need, but again, corners deep. You can get Benjamin Morrison in the second from Notre Dame. Um, I know he's got injuries, but I don't want to see Will Johnson at 12. Michigan now. His tape 2 years ago was great, a little less this year, but a dude who has questions about speed and we don't know if he's even going to run a 40 this offseason. Now listen, 40-yard dash is not everything, but if you have questions about speed and then you don't run, sorry.
There's more questions about speed.
Yes. And I can't take a top 15 pick on you.
I think somebody will fall in love because he's long and rangy, and
Yes.
that's what people like in corners these days. But you're
He
right.
was
I
built
think
in a
that.
cornerback factory.
Yep. Yeah.
Literally.
Michigan has some guys too, so that'll
Yeah,
be.
they do.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
think the Eagles have had like one skill position player in for a top 30 visit, and that's it. So don't expect that.
No, no. Which
They've only done offensive linemen. The offensive lineman from North Dakota State, the offensive lineman from um, NC State.
yep.
They've had the edge rusher from Boston College, who's good. I think that is a reasonable possibility. They talked to Jaw Joyner, who's the edge rusher from Minnesota. That'll be mid rounds. They've talked to one guy who doesn't play the line. One.
It
Officially.
really is unbelievable.
It's hilarious.
Hilarious. Hilarious. All right. So, like you said, anything else you want to touch on here?
No, it was really just the 30 visit thing and
Yep.
just how the Eagles, like, it's one of those things where you gotta, if you believe in the strategy like we all do, then you gotta believe in it. That it's not gonna be fun when we take a North Dakota State tackle, but if it leads to in the long run to them being good, that's what matters. I think. Oh, another one. The tackle from Oregon. I think he right now. If I had to bet, but if I was added to a group text with the people on the front office about the draft plans, I would be like fist bump, American flag, fire emoji on the tackle from Oregon.
And something I'm going to dive in a little deeper as we get closer to is the Cowboys are going to take a quarterback in this draft. I think we all know that. Cooper Rush has moved on. What a wild backup choice for Lamar Jackson to go with Cooper
Couldn't
Rush.
be
It could not
couldn't be
be.
any different.
It's just,
Just
I was like, okay.
in every way, shape, or form.
How do you, if Lamar goes down, how do you keep the game plan?
I don't know. And that's what they've always done such a good job of in
Yes.
Baltimore is they would have somebody else. Like they had Tyler Huntley because
Yep.
they could just run the same offense.
Yes.
Now they've found the quarterback who's least like
Can you
Lamar
imagine
Jackson.
if all of a sudden Cooper just shows some wheels?
That would be very funny. Hey, you don't have to take a quarterback. There is a very good quarterback out there on the open market right now by the name of Carson Wentz. He could be your backup quarterback.
It could. Oh, I sat next to. I thought he was Carson Wentz on the plane yesterday. Looked just like him. But
Might have been. Come back
there
to
are a
Tampa.
couple quarterbacks. Quinn Ewers is obviously being linked to the Cowboys, but I think you'd have to take a second or third round pick. I would like to. They have a bunch of fifth round picks. If I could take a quarterback in the fifth, I'd be happy. Two guys, Aiden, that I've been impressed with watching is Kyle McCord, quarterback from Syracuse. He
Yep.
slung it all around the yard. He had one of the best statistical seasons for a quarterback in NCAA history. He left, he was kind of like the scapegoat, if you will, at Ohio State. Like, you can't beat Michigan. Well, they still didn't beat Michigan without him. But he went up to Syracuse, did his thing. But also Ohio State, Will Howard, man. I mean, he can play a little bit. He can, and if you're looking for a backup, fifth round, I'm okay with it.
Or you could just turn him into Taysom Hill.
True.
Play him that way. The name that you didn't mention that I think, not necessarily for the Cowboys, but I do think he'll go in the first round is Jackson Dart.
Yes.
I think, like, if you're the Steelers and he's sitting there, you got to say to yourself, why the hell not? Like, are we going to go into the year, like, with who? Aaron Rodgers? Like,
Yep.
don't do this.
Did you see Mel Kiper's?
I am going to go onto the Steelers Reddit forums and advocate for Jackson Dart because I can't do another year of the Steelers offense.
Did you see Mel Kiper's latest mock?
Did he have Jackson Dart?
Yep. You know where?
No.
9 to the Saints.
Whoa. Okay. Well, I bet that, like I told you, the Saints don't have a quarterback. They don't have a guard. They don't have a tackle. They don't have people to park the fucking cars outside.
You know what they do have, though? Super Bowl winning head coach.
They do. I totally forgot about that.
Well,
you
Super
know,
Bowl winning offensive coordinator who's now a head coach.
Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator. That actually leads me to believe that they would take a quarterback because you
Mhm.
probably want to pair your new
Yes.
flashy offensive minded head coach with a young quarterback who could thrive in the league. And then Jackson Dart could maybe turn into this year's Bo Nix. Who
Yep.
knows? I like
Mhm.
Jackson Dart.
You have him sit behind Carr for probably for like 4
2 weeks.
games until
Yeah.
Carr gets hurt. And that'll be it. So,
Yeah.
all right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will be do you want to tell the people, because I'm going to start it today, the walk-in mocks?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, for the next month, there's nothing more than what we love than draft coverage. So our plan was we're going to do walk and mocks. We've been trying to get our 10,000 steps a day. We're going to do a mock draft as we do it. Kevin's at a lot more steps than I am right now, apparently. So we're going to I posted them on TikTok. Make sure to follow them on TikTok. We're posting a lot of stuff there. On YouTube, we'll do mock drafts here. We'll do them team specific for the Eagles and Cowboys.
Yep.
We'll also do some first and second round ones for everybody. As the player rumors kind of swirl around who our teams could take, we'll break down those players, why we think we should take them, why we think they shouldn't take them, stuff like that. I'm right now trying to have a bunch of mock draft guys come onto the show, see if they'll mock
Yep.
draft with us. But
Yep.
this next month, I think you're going to see coverage that you may have never seen before. And it is going to be wall-to-wall draft coverage. So make sure to subscribe while you can, and follow on TikTok, Twitter, everywhere.
I love it. I
Blue
love it.
Sky.
And we will do, before the night of the draft, we will do one complete mock round, first round together, where we will choose for
That's my
every
favorite.
team in the first round.
That's my favorite one that we do.
Me too. That's a good one. Just one complete video where we choose for every team. All right, everybody. Thank you again. Masters is almost here. Baseball is starting. The draft is closed. I don't want to say it's the best time of year, but it's a pretty damn good time of year.
It's a good month. It is a
It
good
is.
month.
So make sure you're following us right here on YouTube. If you're watching, make sure you smash that subscribe button. If you are new, like and comment below. Follow us on Birds vs. Boys everywhere you listen to your podcast. We are there. Birds vs. Boys on Twitter, Birds vs. Boys on TikTok and Instagram as well. Until next time, enjoy the weather getting better. Watch a little baseball, but lock in for draft coverage.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things.
I got 2 phones.
Upset alert. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there.
There's no hope. Hope is
Dude,
gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope. I'm going to drink bleach. That is?
Be the team you promised me you were going to be this year!
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.